The following portion of Daytime Tri-Cities is sponsored by Evans & Evans Real Estate. Welcome to this week's edition of Real Estate Today, brought to you by Evans & Evans Real Estate. And we are here in the Boones Creek area of Johnson City, a very popular area, to tell you about a lot that is just now hitting the market. I want to talk a little bit about property and buying property in the area. And we have Realtor Rebecca Wilson here with us to do that. And Rebecca, thanks for meeting us out here.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Well, certainly the market that we continue to see here in Johnson City and the Tri-Cities, all of these homes go very quickly, and it seems like not a lot to choose from.
There's not a lot to choose from, so people are starting to look at lots more than they used to and talk about building.
And certainly when you're looking at a lot and property, there's a lot that goes into play. Maybe give viewers some advice on some of the things that they should make sure that they're doing if they are looking to purchase property.
So the first thing that people usually look at is the area. You know, is this the school district they want? Is this close enough to work? Is it close to family? Do they want to be in the city? Do they want to be in the county so they don't pay taxes for the county? And there's pros and cons to both of those things. If you're in the city, like with this lot, there's city resources. There's water and sewer right there at the road, which is better. It's more cost effective than having to put in a septic system and things like that. So that's one thing to consider. Other things to consider is if you're in an HOA, a lot of times there's building restrictions that people aren't aware of, and if you have a certain build or a plan that you want to build, you need to look at a lot of things like the restrictions. There's deed restrictions, HOA restrictions, city restrictions, and I'm sure I'm thinking or missing other restrictions, but yeah, you just it's a really good idea to talk to your realtor, have somebody, an advocate for you whenever you know what you want, and they can help you figure out if certain lots are going to work for what you want.
And you were saying that a lot of times people have their ideal home, their dream home, and they're ready to build it, and then they purchase the property only to find out their ideal home cannot be built on this particular piece of property.
That's why you need that advocate. Talk to your realtor. They may or may not know if it's going to work, and if they don't know, then your realtor can get in contact with the builder, or if you already have a builder, have the builder. They're almost always going to come out and look at things with you. They want to do that before you make the wrong decision on a lot, and they don't want to have to tell you, sorry, you can't build that on this property, you're gonna have to pick another plan, and that's pretty disappointing when that happens. So make sure that your plan is going to work on the lot before you actually purchase it, and that's a good conversation to have with your realtor.
Yeah, it sounds like there's a lot of terrain issues, hills, especially if you've always wanted a basement or you want to build on a slab, or different pieces of property have different things.
Right. A lot of times properties are going to be better with a slab or a basement, and you can make it work, but it's expensive, to have to grade when you wouldn't have to on other properties, things like that. Other things to look at is flood zone. If it's in a flood zone, then it really limits you to what you can do, and it gets more expensive with flood insurance and things like that. There's a lot of things you have to look at. That's why get a good realtor.
Yeah, I was going to say that relationship with your realtor sounds like it is really important when you're going through that process.
Yep, that's the benefits of having an advocate with you through the process.
So, but it seems like there's a lot of pros too if you're looking for that piece of property that you can build your dream home like the one we're going to show today. The views and having a little bit of privacy, a lot of pros.
There are a lot of pros, and you can build it to however you want it, and you can, like this lot here, you can face wherever you want to. If you're in a certain neighborhood, sometimes you have to face the road. If you're close to the road, you mostly have to face it to the road. But yeah, you can make it where you want it. That's definitely a pro to finding a lot of your own.
All right. Well, certainly some great information. Rebecca, thanks so much for joining us today.
Thank you.
Don't forget, if you have questions about purchasing property, you can always get a hold of Rebecca. Here is her information. And be sure to stay tuned, because coming up, we're going to take you up this driveway to show you this new piece of property that is just now hitting the market right here in the Boones Creek area, a very popular area of Johnson City, also within that Lake Ridge Elementary School District. You'll want to stay tuned for that coming up a little later on Daytime Tri-Cities. preceding portion of Daytime Tri-Cities was sponsored by Evans & Evans Real Estate.